everybody, and hope you are all having a wonderful weekend, and happy Thanksgiving long weekend to all of our friends here in Canada. I am pretty much full of ham and turkey and stuffing. So let's turn our thoughts to the market. Hope you're all having a wonderful long weekend, and let's see what's going on in the market. Now, we don't normally put up reports out on a Sunday, but obviously what's going on right now is quite important. We talked about, obviously, over the last couple of weeks, the head and shoulders on the SPY. Now, we warned that, I know a lot of other people were expecting the market to rally on Friday. We talked in trading room that it's possible but unlikely, and that at best we'd probably have a short rally, and then further down. As you can see, where we hit on Friday's trading was basically exactly the head and shoulder. So there's the head and shoulder measurement, and there's our breakdown. There's where we dropped to 286.40. So that was our target we discussed on Thursday, and we've hit it now. So currently, the head and shoulders in the hourly is now over. We can look at the potential larger scale head and shoulder, which you can see we've kind of drawn out here, which you can see the bigger left shoulder, and then possible the head here, and then the right shoulder. So, as you can see, the problem with that is we've broken down through the neckline. We've actually tested it from beneath and rolled over. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens tomorrow, Monday, although Canada is still on holiday. The markets will be open, so we will be watching that. And if I see anything new, I'll let you know. I will be watching the markets tomorrow from my cell phone, but I don't expect. I mean, I'm nothing really much has changed about how I'm approaching this. So if we do have a look at the daily chart. Again, you can see the broader picture which we've been outlining, that even if we get some recovery bounces, which we will along the way, we are rallying as part of a bearish pattern. So I wouldn't be chasing those rallies. I'd be using them as opportunities to get short. As you can see, we're kind of just, we've got this larger scale head and shoulder forming here. So the S&P, I think, wants to drop down. Well, this is the SPY, but it wants to drop down to 282 and change. So that's going to be the key area where support will really come in. And then if we break that, that's where we get the more significant drops. But anyway, that's what we're going to be watching here in the short term. High yield bonds, they continued down. I'm just going to switch back to my normal template now. Now we're off the SPY. High yield bonds continue down. They actually dropped straight through their support. There was a horizontal support line here, which was also kind of the trend. Excuse me, it's not drawn very well. 1 second. Let's make sure that's correct. There we go. So yes, the trend line was there. We dropped straight through that, much like we saw on the S&P, so the SPY dropping through its support level. So again, that was on significant volume too. We've gone from 13 million shares to 17.9 million to 24 million to 25 million. Candles are increasing in their width, or I should say length, as we've dropped here. Money flow is now negative. That doesn't look very good. And stocks above or below the 50-day moving average has broken through support as well. So that's kind of what you see across the smart money indicators. Now, obviously, so I'm in protective mode. I'm still holding longs. The longs that I'm in, I still believe in them. So I've got my stop losses in. I've locked in my profit zones. I've taken profit out to reduce my capital position, my capital exposure in the long direction. So as I mentioned, as I've been talking about and warning about for the last few weeks, I've been removing capital from the system, so I have less money at risk, updating my stop losses, so I have less of my position at risk, and taking profit on the way up. So I'm making sure that I've made money, even if they all stop out. It's okay. So that's been the priority. Obviously, we've been looking at a lot of great short setups that have all been doing really well. We also talked about TZA. So in my investment account, where I'm not able to, so that I've got a few different trading accounts. I have an investment account, and I treat them all as separate businesses, right? So in that account, because I can't short stocks in that specific account, what I've done is I've taken a large position short in TZA, so which we've been talking about since last Thursday. So what I basically did was take a look at all my positions, looked at what my risk is across all of the stocks, and I've offset that by taking a position in TZA. So if I have, say, a 5% stop loss on 20 stocks, I'd add up what that 5% totaled to be, and then I would take that amount of money and put it into this. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm managing a nice balance. So ideally, my longs should keep going up, so I can keep making money there. But I've also offset the risk of them not doing that by shorting the overall market, which is weak, whereas my individual longs are strong, right? So anyway, it's just one of my money management strategies. TZA, so I'm long this, like we've been talking, and this had a great move so far, and is holding above its moving averages. In terms of the individual stocks, let's take a look at some of those. General Electric's actually been doing really well, outperforming the market over this last week. As you can see, rallying up and gaining some really good volume. Actually, 74 million shares traded on Thursday, 150 million on Friday. It's going counter trend. General Electric's looking good. TROV. Now, I mentioned I wouldn't take any new long positions, but I mean, this is not a new position. We've been watching it for, well, it technically is a new position, but we've been watching it for a while. As you can see, this was one I really liked, and it is a fallen angel too. And as I've told many people over the years, it's fallen angels is my favorite strategy. And if I'm going to go long, even in a bear market, it's going to be because it's something like this. And as you can see, if we take a look at TROVs, um, uh, buying. There you go. See 182%, 53%, 278%, right? We can have a look at the institutionals, and there you can see, right, Sabby Management, which we were talking about in terms of the other stocks. There's Sabby again, CVI, bigger capital. It's got some nice buying across the board. So I'm happy with that, and and I'm in it. I bought this on Friday, of course, and it had a really nice close. The volume went from 819,000 shares traded on Thursday to 13.9 million traded on Friday. And so yeah, so I've picked up a nice chunk of shares in this one, and we'll see where that continues to go Monday. We've also got DM. DM's looking really good. Dominion Midstream, which is of course a recent alert, that's continuing to climb almost at its first target, which is 1845. But I would just look. You could probably let this run, or take a little bit off the table, and at least update the stop signal probably to around 1713. Protect your original entry point. Derm is also moving really well. Obviously up from 1050 or so where we found it the second time. So you could consider updating the stop loss to around 1087 to protect your entry signal. Again, protection of capital. You could always take a little bit off the table if this one continues to rocket away. Great, but it's already up about 20% from where we found it. So nothing wrong with taking a bit off the table. So if let's say you sold half and then it stopped out at 1087, well now you've basically locked in a 6% profit, because I think the entry signal is 1040. So you'd be locking in about 6 or more percent. That's a worst case scenario. That's not a bad case scenario if that's your worst case scenario. Not bad at all. All right, so there's BAS is the next one. BAS, I'm loving this one so far. I'm holding this. It's looking like it's going to want to break. Anything that didn't drop on Monday, I mean on Friday, is good. I mean, so BAS didn't drop, Derm didn't drop, DM didn't drop. Of course, we've been following the energy sector as being bullish. The energy sector also didn't close poorly on Friday, so all these are good signs. BLPH is the other one that's looking good. Also, I believe this is another one of Sabby's deals. Let's just check that. I believe it is though from memory. So there's your insider buying. Institutional transactions. Let's have a look. No, that's not a savvy one, but nevertheless, is looking good, and we'll see where that goes. But that's obviously broken out. So that's it's hit our entry signal that we were looking for also on Friday. Still probably not too late to get in if you wanted to look for a long. Again, volume going from 93,000 shares to 1.44 million shares. All right, that's that. On the short side, GNTX, great drop on Friday. Would consider lowering the stop signal to 2137. I mean, these all look good. That everything looks good. I'm just highlighting some of the bigger movers. CMPR had a great drop. Would consider lowering the stop signal to 139.87. I mean, just perfect. I love technicals. JBL, turn up the volume. It's a great looking short. um, JBL is dropping, and lovely little move on Friday down on increasing. A lot of these are on nice increasing volume. JBL looks sexy. CMCO. Let's have a look at this one. This one breaking down through its entry signal. Once again, increased volume by about 50%. CMCO triggering on Friday. ALGN triggering on Friday, dropping through its upward channel, I should say. So, happy Thanksgiving, Canadians. There's some great setups there. And for those of you south of the border, I know your Thanksgivings here are just a few weeks away. So, early present for you also. Hope everyone's loving these markets. I often hear people saying, oh, look, this isn't a great time to trade. I'm going to sit back a little while here until I can figure out what's going on. Wrong. You know that is how the rich get richer and the poor stay the same or get poorer, because they play these games to confuse people, when really, if you just follow the rules we're teaching you, open range, patterns and probabilities, it tells you what to do. Tells you what to do based on high probability. So, for those of people who said it's too early to short the market back in July, well, they missed the last 20, 30 setups we've been picking that have all been hitting profit targets. If you've got to follow the rules, you've got to have confidence in them. And again, I hope you're all as excited as I am about the months ahead, because whether we go up or down, I think they're going to be great. I think we're going to keep making money. So I'll see you all in Trading Room on Tuesday night. And again, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care.